Coming to you live from the fabulous MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a St. Clair College journalism presentation.
Hi, I'm Sandy No, and you're watching MediaPlex News Now. A second suspect has been arrested this morning in connection with the fatal downtown stabbing of 19-year-old University of Windsor student Gotham Kevin Kagathison. The incident occurred on the corner of Pallisher and University Avenue after a fight broke out between two groups of males. 5 of the men involved sustaining non-life-threatening injuries. The name of the man arrested has not yet been released.
I guess I don't feel as safe as I once did, knowing that that's happened so close to home.
The popularity of craft beer is skyrocketing with sales growth of 45% according to LCBO. Windsor consumers had the opportunity to celebrate with the festival that allowed people to sample brews from all across Ontario.
You know, there weren't any craft breweries here for a few years, and up until really about a year ago, Motorburger started brewing their own beer. Walkerville Brewery opened up, and it really fell in line with the kind of the boom in the craft beer market across not just the province, but across North America.
Craft beer is becoming an important industry in Ontario. It employs more than 650 people at 47 different microbreweries. And as Sean Preble reports, all things lager and ale were celebrated this past weekend.
Craft beer is on the rise in Windsor. As more microbreweries open in Ontario, people are turning to craft beer as an alternative to those brewed by large corporations. To celebrate the craft, 2 residents have started their own craft beer festival. Adriano Chotoli, co-founder of Windsor Eats, says he wanted to give Windsorites a chance to try something new.
We're wanting to show them that a beer, especially through craft beer, is that there's a lot more flavor to be had with the beer, as opposed to the big corporate ones that are being brewed. A lot of the small batches that we have here from across the province, they really pack a lot of punch.
Moya Cornwall and visiting Torontonian Nick Lambert said craft beer is something different, and that's what drew them to the festival.
I'm always going to the LCBO and trying to find something interesting and fun and different to try, so hopefully I'll find a new beer here and start buying that on a regular basis. So it's a good place to try out some new stuff.
I guess maybe hoping to find something that other people don't know about. Find a hidden gem.
It's clear from the crowds here at the Craft Beer Festival that craft and microbrews are indeed increasing in popularity. So instead of going out and buying a beer bottle for one of your regular brands, why not try a craft brew? Reporting from the Walkerville Brewery, for MediaPlex News Now, I'm Sean Preble. Cheers.
Let's check in with our weather expert, Madison Dugan, at the corner of University and Victoria. Madison?
Well, Sandy, if you're going to be out tonight, you're definitely going to want to bundle up. Right now it's 7 degrees, dipping to a low of 4. I'll be back later in the show with the rest of your week's forecast. Sandy, back to you.
Thanks, Madison. St. Clair College will soon have a new building. The Sportsplex will open in 2014, so students, staff, and the Windsor community will have a world-class facility right in their backyard. Alice Hewitt tells us more.
St. Clair College continues to expand in order to better suit the needs of students. The Sportsplex is the newest addition to the St. Clair College main campus. It follows the creation of a similar Healthplex fitness center on the college's 10th campus. The Sportsplex will be 80,000 square feet and include a triple gym, the first of its kind for the province. The facility will also include an elevated walking track, a workout studio, an aerobics room, classrooms, and 12 team rooms. Over the next 10 years, all students enrolled at St. Clair will pay an additional $150 per year on their tuition to gain free access to the facility and its services. The fee also covers an additional free year of access after graduation. The project is expected to open in early 2014. For MediaPlex News, I'm Alice Hewitt.
Windsor and Essex County's most accomplished long-distance runner is Dana Pidereski. She has run under the Canadian record for the half marathon, and earlier today, she spent 5 minutes with our reporter, John Trajanzik.
Hi, I'm John Trajanzik, and this is 5 Minutes with Dana Pidereski. Dana is a native of Tecumseh and is the 2012 Canada Running Series female champion. What is your greatest athletic accomplishment?
Probably have to be running the Niagara International Marathon and being under the Canadian half marathon record. It was just one of those races where everything went right and felt great, and hopefully I have one of those again.
And is that record still there to be had?
It didn't qualify as the new Canadian record just due to the way that the course was shaped, but I mean, it was still a personal best for me, so that's good enough.
Okay. And what are your current goals and plans as an athlete?
Currently in the process of moving out to Vancouver to train with Richard Lee. He coached Dylan Wykes, who was the first men's Canadian Olympic finisher in London this last summer. So just being a part of that group and having actually a training group, whereas usually I'm solo, I'm really excited to make that change.
What is a typical training day for you right now?
Most days I get up at like 6 o'clock, go out for a run, probably 12 to 14K, go to work, and then some days I'll come home from work and run again, or I'll have a longer session that day, usually a day that I'm not working.
And what distance are you focusing on? Are you moving to the marathon?
Hope to move towards the marathon in the next year or so. It's something I've been looking towards for the last few years, but just kept getting injured. So it's still definitely a goal. I really hope to just get back to normal mileage and just have that be a possibility for me. But I mean, the main goal would be Rio 2016 for the marathon.
How does an elite athlete trying to be an Olympian, how do they support themselves in the time between marathons, between the Olympics?
You pick races that pay a lot and hope that you have some sponsorship support. It's hard to get funding with Athletics Canada unless you've run a marathon. Or if you've run a fast 10K, there's not really any support in between. So sometimes that's a challenge just because you're trying to train, you're trying to recover, but at the same time you do still have to find money. So unless you have some big bonus races, usually you do have to work, and that can sort of put a bit of a damper on recovery and training as hard as you really want to. So it's a bit of a difficult situation if you're just trying to have that breakthrough marathon, and until you get it, you're sort of it's just more difficult than like
so
if you're already established.
For now, you'll still target some shorter races that with prizes to work, and then work your way up and try to break through.
Yeah, you still would want to race a bit just because, I mean, you can only race a few marathons a year at most, but obviously you can race more of the shorter races, and just sort of hoping that you have some good wins there that can help fill in the gap.
Okay, so the Canadian female marathon record that held for 28 years just fell on Sunday in Toronto. What are your thoughts on that?
It was a bit of a difficult thing to watch. I did want to be that person who broke it, but obviously Lanny and Krista have been gunning for it for the last year or so. So I knew it wasn't probably going to wait for me, but I just hope that in the next few years I can re-break it.
Thank you, Dana. I'm John Trzajanczyk, and we have spent 5 minutes with Dana Pitorescu.
Taylor Desjardins talks about the benefits of sleep in this Health Minute.
Do you wonder how many hours of sleep are enough for good health? Age and other contributing factors determine how much sleep you should be getting. If you are having trouble sleeping and don't know what to do to help improve your sleep, here are a few quick tips. First, you should try to go to bed at the same time every day, even if you have the day off or it's a holiday. This will train your body your sleep-wake cycle. Watch what you eat and drink before bed. You don't want to be too full or too hungry because that will cause discomfort, which in turn will wake you up. Create a bedtime ritual every night that will tell your body to wind down, such as reading a book, listening to music, or taking a warm bath. The room you sleep in should be cool, dark, and quiet. Also choose a comfortable mattress, pillows, and bedding. According to MayoClinic.com, infants, toddlers, and school-aged children should all sleep 9 to 10 hours per day, and adults should sleep 7 to 8 hours. Finding what works for you will help optimize your sleep so you can be productive, mentally sharp, emotionally balanced, and full of energy all day long. Remember, the quality of your sleep is just as important as the quantity. I'm Taylor Desjardins, and this has been Your Health Minute.
Do you eat 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day? If not, Veronica Jerkowski tells us how.
This is one way to eat fresh veggies, but local nutritionists say it may not be the best way to get the nutrients your body needs every day.
Most North Americans are not consuming anywhere near the minimum of 5 fruits and vegetables per day. So this is a very easy way to get additional fruits and veggies in just by drinking it.
That's right, drinking it. So local nutritionist Melanie Hesketh is issuing a challenge along with the owner of a local vegan gluten-free cafe. Drink 1 green smoothie every day for 30 days. What's a green smoothie?
The base is always some sort of green. It could be anything from kale, broccoli, spinach, mixed greens, parsley, cilantro, and then there's always some sort of fruit.
And she says it may decrease stress, reduce weight, and boost energy levels. Julie Raby has decided to take the challenge.
I'm very sluggish. I'm a night owl. So I find if this is going to give me a kick after I work out, keep me sustained all day long with my kids and everything, I think it's going to work, so I'm willing to try it.
Carrots and Dates owner explains why this event was so important.
So many people think they're eating healthy, think they're doing good, but they actually feel very sick. We're trying to push and motivate people that there's other ways to get better. There's other ways to increase your health benefits.
Nutritionists will check on the progress of the participants partway through. Meanwhile, registrations for the formal challenge are closed, but Melanie Hesketh says anyone can take the challenge at home. For MediaPlex News, I'm Veronica Jerkowski.
There may be more ships in the Detroit River soon. Richard Riosa reports.
Will we be seeing more ships in the Detroit River? Top executives for the Great Lakes St. Lawrence Seaway are calling for an increase in industrial shipping in the region. Executives from both sides of the border attended a breakfast event in Detroit October 11th, hosted by the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce and the Windsor Regional Chamber of Commerce. The event featured speeches from President and CEO of the Interlake Steamship Company, Mark Barker, and President and CEO of the St. Lawrence Seaway Management Corporation, Terrence Bowles. Bowles spoke about the importance of the Detroit River, and Barker discussed the environmental and economic advantages of marine shipping.
So that's why I'm here, because obviously I'm here right in the middle of it, right, in Detroit, Windsor, with the Detroit River between the two lakes. So a lot of our carriers call in on these ports, and obviously we work very closely with them.
Congestion on our roads increases as the focus of emissions and reduction of emissions continues. We're positioned because we are low impact. We're already on a per ton mile lowest form of emissions. One of my biggest ships can carry 600 to 700 rail cars in one trip versus a 100-car unit train. So we already do things and have done things efficiently and low cost, and I think we can continue and improve upon what we do to even make a lower impact.
The Great Lakes St. Lawrence Seaway supports more than 220,000 jobs and has a $12 billion economic impact on the region. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Richard Riosa.
We are very proud of the journalism program here at the MediaPlex, and one of our professors, Jana Hallam, put together this piece to explain who we are and what we are about.
Journalism enables people to be well informed. It's documenting history. It's an extraordinary way for people to be connected with their community.
What happens in the world affects us. What happens in our community affects us. What happens in the province affects us. And we get to be the eyes and ears and tell the stories. There are many stories that need to be told, and those things add value to our life.
I'm always meeting new people. I'm learning about things that interest me, like topics that I want to learn more about.
It's neat to know that so many people are relying on me. It makes you strive for perfection, or makes you strive for accuracy.
The journalism program here at St. Clair College is a convergence journalism program. Convergence means the merging together of print, radio, and television, and the web, and putting all different stories into 3 or 4 different platforms.
In 21st century newsrooms, journalists have to be able to do it all.
We ask every one of our reporters to tell stories in multiple ways.
There's a different style of writing for print than there is for radio, than there is for television. And it's really important that the information gets out that is true to those platforms.
We are one of the few, if not the only, program that is actually taking students to a live broadcast and giving them that opportunity and that experience.
I've gained a lot of self-confidence. I used to be a really nervous person, a really shy person, but I think this program's helped me come out my shell. It's given me something that I love to do, and that's made me a better person.
I find that the students that come out of St. Clair College are already at or above where some of our broadcast employees have been over the last several years.
I feel that I made the greatest decision I could 2 years ago by choosing this program, because I have learned so much, and I think that I can only grow from here.
I would hands down recommend the program to someone considering it. I would recommend it to someone that's not even considering it. They teach you such a vast array of different skills, different platforms, different things that you could really apply to so many different careers.
Based on literally hundreds of interns I've seen over the years, St. Clair students are better prepared to go into the work environment in media than most students coming out of colleges and universities across North America.
I think it's that very comprehensive curriculum that we have that creates converged journalists that sets this journalism school apart.
Let's head back outside for the forecast. How is it out there, Madison?
Thanks, Sandy. Well, did you know that in 1932, it was so cold in the United States that it froze all of Niagara completely? Well, it won't get that cold anytime soon, but here's what you can expect. On Wednesday, we will see a high of 9 degrees and it will be partly cloudy. Thursday, it will continue to be partly cloudy and the temperature will drop to 8 degrees. Friday, it will remain partly cloudy with a high of 10 degrees. Well, Sandy, that's it for me here on the corner of University and Victoria. Back to you.
Thanks, Madison. Joseph Elliott sits down with the owner of Snapped Windsor, Jeff Casey, on this edition of 5 Minutes With.
Hi, I'm Joseph Elliott, and you're watching 5 Minutes with Jeff Casey. Jeff is the owner of Snapped Windsor. So, Jeff, how long have you been in media?
Actually, I've only been in media for about 6 months.
And what interested you in a career in journalism?
What I really enjoy about it is bringing all the great things that happen in our community to the community.
So Snapped Windsor began in May of this year. What made you want to bring the newspaper to this community?
Well, I had seen Snapped in other communities and always really enjoyed looking at it. Even though it was people I didn't know, I always got a good sense of the community and what was going on there based on all the events and the pictures from the events. Myself, I had a pretty good job, full-time position with the government. I got really sick about 5 years ago. I was diagnosed with cancer. And in going through that, I saw a lot of really great things that happened in this community, not only for myself, with my friends and family coming together in the community, but coming around other people as well. And I think, well, actually, I really wanted those stories to be shared at a greater level. This community is really, really great. We're very giving, we're very loyal, we're very supportive of one another, and I just really wanted to bring that out more in our community.
So what was the process like for bringing Snapped to Windsor?
Well, it is a franchise, but it was fairly simple. I met with the co-founders of Snap. It's called Snap Newspaper Group. It's based out of Newmarket, which is where our headquarters is. I met with them, and it was evident from the get-go that it was going to be a good fit. I think I truly understand what they want to do with Snap, and that's what I've been doing here.
Snapped seems to be growing across Canada. What do you think makes it so successful?
Well, there's a couple things. One, people like to see their picture in the paper. Two, people like to read about good things, and I think if you can bring those two things together, it's a perfect fit. Really, it's a lot of pictures about something that the community's been involved in. It can be anything from a charity event to a business event. There's no event too small, no event too big. If it's important to somebody, then and it's good, it's happy, it's positive, then it's really something that we want to share.
So what kind of content do you look for to fill Snapped?
Well, that's the interesting part is I don't look for content. People bring it to me. So through my website, people can visit the website and submit an event, and that's where they request a photographer. That's where they request it to go into my print news calendar and my online calendar. And really that's what it's come down to is people are telling me what they want covered. So really it's a paper by the people.
How has media convergence influenced that?
Well, right now we're tied into many different aspects of media with people submit an event through my website that comes to me via email, and I have a web-based system. Events get posted into my print calendar, they go into my online calendar, reminders go out through Facebook, and then they get tweeted. All that is automatically done. And then when I post pictures on Facebook, they get tweeted as well. And what we have coming in the future is, well, when I say future, I mean in about a week, some new products that are launching for November 1st. It's going to kind of create a full circle for events or things that happen in Windsor and Essex County.
So what does the future hold for you in Snapped?
Well, not to reveal too much, I suppose, but people will be able to sign up for events through my website. So we will be getting into some ticketing. So a large organization, a smaller organization, a Jack and Jill, a big gala, whatever it may be, will be able to sell tickets through my website. When people go to the event, they'll be able to, through, let's say something like an app, be able to take pictures at the event and submit them through my website. And those pictures will be used through Facebook, through my website, and then eventually can be published in the paper. So we're creating like a full circle, full experience for each event.
Well, Jeff, thanks for coming in today. I'm Joseph Elliott, and you've been watching 5 Minutes with Jeff Casey.
Aerotech is leading a business clothing drive. Taylor Desjardins tells us more.
Aerotech, located at 4510 Rhodes Drive in Windsor, is holding a business clothing drive that will help Windsorites who need these types of clothes for professionalism in the workplace. Mike Verzoza, contacts manager at Aerotech, said he is very supportive of the idea and feels it benefits the people of Windsor who need these clothes.
It's something that we needed to do for the community. We found a need for it because there are people coming in for interviews that aren't necessarily representing themselves in the best way possible.
Claire Ferris, administrative assistant at Aerotech, who came up with the idea of doing a business clothing drive, is happy of all that has been donated.
Just from our office alone, we have 218 article clothing donations so far, which I'm more than impressed with. Last night when I left work, I had 78, and so in one day alone, we've jumped more than 100 pieces of clothing. We're looking for business clothes, so that would be like suits, button-up shirts, sweaters, modest clothing for women, just dress pants, that kind of regular business clothes. But we're also accepting regular donations as well, just because we want to get as big of a donation as we can. All of our donations will be brought to the new Goodwill Center downtown, It's opening for donations on October 19th at 9 a.m. and we're hoping to be one of the first and largest donations there just to show our support for the new center that's going in.
Aerotech hopes Windsor will be generous and lend a helping hand to the less fortunate. You can make your donations at 4510 Rhodes Drive in Windsor. Taylor Desjardins reporting for MediaPlex News Now.
Do you ever wonder about the player behind that Spitfire jersey? Reporter Kyle Simpkins takes us there.
Being the new kid on the block is never easy, especially if that block is the OHL. Members of the Windsor Spitfires know this firsthand.
Balancing school and hockey is tough. Coming into the OHL as a 16-year-old, I knew it was going to be a tough thing for me.
The pressures of moving away from home and entering a new school are not the only obstacles. The game itself is a big challenge.
Speed-wise, I think I'm doing a little bit better than the physicality side, because obviously I'm on the smaller side.
Players who move away from home to play for an OHL team live with a billet family. They provide a stable and secure home away from home for the players, many of which are away from their families for the first time.
You know, I just recently moved into a new billet house, so I really love it there. It's been good for me, and I just relax and sitting down with them and kind of watching hockey.
Windsor Spitfires assistant coach Jared Smith says a good billet family is key for the players to be successful.
We're pretty fortunate. We have a lot of our billets have been with us for a number of years, and they continue to return and house some of our kids.
It's not just the rookies who go through the stresses of chasing their dreams. Brady Vale, in his 4th year, he says the veterans take on the role of big brother.
Just the way to carry themselves away from the rink and just to be as good a person as possible.
I asked Moore how the team reacted when he scored his first OHL goal this week.
The boys were excited for me. To get that monkey off my back was huge.
Just kind of give them a good clap in the room after, but the main thing is just being happy for them, and hopefully he gets a bunch more this year.
And it's promising. They're only 8 games into a long 68-game regular season. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Kyle Simpkins.
St. Clair College is the first ever Ontario College Athletic Association baseball champion. They defeated Durham College in the final 5-2 this past weekend.
Winning it is, with this around my neck, it's what you want. It's what you've been working for all year, and winning it is the best.
I'm Sandy No, and you've been watching MediaPlex News Now.
MediaPlex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.